Hey guys, today we're going to take an inside look at the Benchmade / worn Barrage. Okay, so the first thing you should do, this is my recommendation for now, is to take apart tray, any little top of something, just so you can keep track of all your screws and anything that might roll away. That way you don't have to go looking for it later. Alright, now usually when I take a knife apart, the first thing I like to take off is the pocket clip. Secondly, the thumb stud or thumb disc or anything that might get in the way later. Also, this makes it easier to clean. Now, I would taking the screws off the G10 handles, but if you haven't, know that this particular model of knife, I don't know about yours, but mine at least, was put on with Loctite, very heavily glued in there, and all of my original hardware stripped off. So, I did need to take it apart to adjust the pivot screw, because if you haven't noticed, it's on the inside here. So you have to take this off, and oh, there it is. Anyways, so I contacted Benchmade and they sent me new hardware over here, brand spanking new. And yeah, just know that, be careful with that. So, if you're gonna do this, be sure it's not on too tight, and don't strip your screws, don't strip your Torx screwdrivers, and so you don't have to go through a lot of trouble. But if that does happen, just know that Benchmade will send these to you for free. Alright, moving on, let's take off the handle scales. Let's look inside here at the skeleton of the knife. Move that off to the side. Okay, over here we have this pivot screw that's hidden in there, and two more screws holding the liners together, and this spacer, which holds the spring here to the manual lock that sticks itself behind the axis pin to stop the axis from moving back, the axis pin from moving back. Now, with these knives, what I like about them is that if you need to work on anything, you can just do this, and on the blade, and you have the pin out of the way. So that's a plus to me. You don't have to take it out completely, you can just move it down. You don't even have to remove the Omega springs. It'll all stay in there. For fixing things that you don't need to take it apart completely, you can just do this, and you don't have to. There's just less things to deal with there. Alright, now we're gonna get our Torx screwdriver here. Take off these mini Torx screws. There's one here. Here we go. And then we're going to put that in our parts tray to make sure we don't lose it. Here's the other one. Alright. Now, another thing I would like to do, if you're going to take it apart completely like I am just now, be sure you take off any springs or anything that you can that might jump out and, become a problem to find later. So here's the Omega springs. You can take off just one, like so. Here we go, like that. Put it in our parts tray, and then just remove the stop pin. It doesn't unscrew or anything. To remove it, you just pull it down to this wider cutout here, and just pull it through, and it just comes out like this. Put that in here as well. Good. So now we're left without it. Good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this little stop pin up here, which is actually two parts, so be careful with this. You're going to push it with one side, the other side you're going to pick it off like this. Comes off pretty easily. Now the second part's still in there, so just very gently tap this down, or if you want to stick your screwdriver in there, pull it out. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. If you want to stick your screwdriver in here to push it out, if the blade doesn't hold it in place. There we go. And now, put this in our parts tray. Alright, next thing. Now no, as soon as you do this, as soon as you loosen this pivot screw here a little bit, the spring, which retains this blade in here, is going to become loose, and it's no longer going to retain it in there correctly. So be ready for that. You will be able to fix it again later, so don't worry about it, don't freak out. There, you just heard that click. There. No longer retains it. Finish unscrewing it. We're going to take it out completely now. There we go. like this, and put it in our parts tray. Perfect. Now out comes this top liner here, and along with that is going to fall out this little the little manual lock, the button. Let's put the liner off to the side. Here's a washer, by the way. Keep track of that, don't loose it. If it's stuck like this because it's oiled, you can just leave it on. If not, if you have to take it apart and oil it, just be sure you clean that part. Clean this area up here with a Q-tip if you're cleaning this. Here, let's take this off. This little pin just came out. Let's put the spacer and the spring back here. And this little pin that came out right here came out of here. This little hole here, okay? So that's where that's gonna go. I'll put that in our parts tray. Okay, so now let's push this out. Pull the blade forward like this, take it out, and you can see it has this cutout here. This is all cut out for the spring to retain it, and it's all designed for it to be retained in correctly, and in order to retain it in such a way that it's not going to be an automatic, which means you're going to pull back the axis pin and it's going to shoot out on its own. It's designed for you to have to push the thumb stud. Okay, so here we're going to push this out this way. There's also a pretty decent area that's going to catch a lot of dirt if you leave it over time, you don't clean it enough. This is going to get really dirty, I can tell. It's just a lot of stuff going on just in this one area, and just going to catch a lot of pocket lint, crap like that. So it's good to know to take these apart. The spring here, this part is supposed to be going around this way and hooking on here, but since it doesn't have the pivot screw pushing down on it constantly, it's going to pop out and do this. I'll show you guys how to put that back later. Alright, let's take this out for now like this. It's going to come off to the side because it has another little peg that sticks itself onto the side there. Here's a second washer. You're not going to be able to take this out until you push out this little spring housing. Push it down. So, now you can pull out this washer, put it off to the side or whatever. You can take this out and clean it, whatever. Here's the liner. It's complete taken apart. Take the spring off here. Now it's complete taken apart. Good. So after you do this, you've cleaned it, you've gone rust out of it, whatever it is, to put it back. This is actually a little bit harder than taking it apart, and it takes a little bit more skill, and you're gonna have to multitask with your two hands. You're gonna have to do like 3 things at once, so pay close attention here. Okay, we're gonna put this spring housing back first. We're just gonna go backwards from where we came from. This little second cutout, the deeper one, is gonna go into this little thing that sticks out here like that. You're gonna push it in, and if you want to push it against your surface here, which I do recommend you use a white surface or something light colored so you can see any little screws that hang out. Nothing's gonna get lost really. Good. From here, the second thing you're gonna do, you're gonna put on this little washer. Oil it if you have to. If not, I recommend you use hair clipper oil. Very thin. I don't know, I haven't had to buy any, I just got it from the clippers, but I assume it's pretty cheap. And it's very efficient, it works for me at least. Haven't heard anyone who it doesn't work for. Now we're going to put in, we can put in the spring first, I think is going to be easier. Now this is symmetrical, whether you turn it this way or this way, it's the same, doesn't matter. You're just going to hold it like this. The side on the right, that little thing that sticks out, is going to go into this little hole right here. So we're gonna put it this way, like so. Hold on just a second. Bear with me here. There we go. Boom. It's in. That's what she said. Anyways, now we're gonna put in this pivot pin. We're just gonna put it in like that. You wanna have the flat part facing down because on the other liner, that's how it is. Alright, now what you wanna do is put your blade on top like so. Hold the pin from the bottom like this with your index finger and maybe your thumb up here, and push your blade back until you feel that it catches on the spring like this. Then from here, just hold it. We'll put it back into place later. Right now it doesn't really matter. Put on our second washer. If you want to put on a little bit more oil, you can go right ahead. Just a little drop, all you need. You don't want to over oil these things. Alright, now, this is the tricky part. You want to put this down very carefully so it doesn't come undone, like so, like it happened just now. Alright, here we go. And now you're going to have to assemble this. Alright, here, we're going to put this little spring into this little cutout here. And then we're going to put this on here. It's got little parts that stick out that go in the little cutouts of the liner, like that. And it kind of holds itself in there. From here, I'm going to get this stop pin, this little pin that holds the spring in place. Now, mind you, it's not symmetrical. It's got one side that's like a little point like this, the other side is flat. The side of the point is going to go facing down towards the spring housing area. To that side is going to be pointing. So look, if it doesn't go in, you just want to get this and push it up a bit. You want to push up on the spring until it does click in. Hold on, just having a little difficulty doing this with working around the camera. There we go. There it is. Not wanting to go in. There it is. Okay, great. Of course, while I was doing that, the blade decided to come off. So this goes back to my multitasking I said you're going to have to do. Again, push it up until you feel it click into the spring. Good. Now, I'm going to get this little button and put it in right here. Alright, now very carefully, without letting anything fall, you're just going to place this on top here, this second liner, and hope that it all fits in right. There you go. Good. Nice, got it first try. Good. Now, as soon as you have this, I would recommend you immediately put in any screw, like this one here on the back. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be in the way, and it's going to hold it together nicely. I don't think you guys would have to Loctite these, so don't worry about putting any thread locker on these. Thread locker, by the way, that I think everybody should use. Good. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to push down here and activate the manual lock just to get it out of the way so it's pushed down. Now we're going to press really hard on the back here and on this liner and pull this back until it clicks. Once it clicks, we're going to hold it tightly and put in our pivot screw. If I don't drop it, which would kind of suck because I'd have to stop the video and look for it. Alright. Put it in so it's nice and snug, so it's not too tight, not too loose, because we still have to adjust to make sure that the spring is on the right place and is retained nicely. Alright, here we go. Good, so I think that's pretty decent there. Now, how we're going to test this, we're going to go ahead and, we already disabled that. Yeah, we're going to disable this lock, and we're going to press this down here, and if it retains, it's good. If it goes forward, not tight enough. If it doesn't go forward fast enough, you can loosen it a little bit. Now I think it's too loose. Let's see. Nope, just fine. Good, let's let it go here. Ah, crazy. See how fast that is? Good. Now, I would put thread locker on this now, but I'll do it later, just for demonstration of this, just so I don't make the video longer. I'll take the pivot screw off again. Once you have that done, second screw here, and screw it in. Good. Good. Now that this is all, you have all three screws on here, it's held in there nice and tightly or whatever. You're going to go ahead and put in your axis pin. Alright, now this, you can put it in on this side. You just take off both omega springs, whatever you want, and just put it in through this big cut here, and then just push it into where it's supposed to go, and then put in the springs if you want to. Now, let's see if I can push this down here. There we go. Perfect. Just real quickly, I want to show you guys, for those of you that don't know how the axis lock works. Oh, I forgot something here. We're going to put in this pin, this stop pin real quickly, and I'll show you guys, for those of you that are curious, because I love to take apart my knives and see how like the different locking mechanisms work and stuff like that. So alright, here's a stop pin. Good. So if you can see here on the tang of the blade, there's a little cutout right there that kind of retains this when pushed forward will retain the blade in, right, along with the spring. Now if you push forward on this will move back, and with a constant pressure from the spring it will roll up against this area, and when it gets to a flat part it'll be jammed between the tang of the blade that you can see and the two liners. So this is really any pressure going down is going to push the pin upward into the liners, not going to go anywhere. Any pressure going back is going to push the blade up against the stop pin. So until you release this and push it back down, this is going nowhere, right? See there, we'll just put that there just so you guys can see. I like that. That's really cool, I think. Anyways, for now we're gonna close this and put in the Omega springs. Alright, you want to hook it in on the little hole first. You want to hook the Omega spring to the liner first, then to the pin, and then same thing on the other side. Liner, pin. Good, here we go. Perfect. Once you've done this, all you really got to do is you're just going to put these back here, and you're going to put in some thread locker, and here, here, and here. Make sure you shake well. Not on your pocket clip. That's something you're going to be assembling, disassembling, or I don't know. Maybe you do want to. It's up to you. Then we're going to put on the other liner, and lastly, the thumb stud. Right? So if you weren't able to get this to go back to where it's supposed to, and the spring is still not retaining it right, all you have to do, you don't have to take it apart more farther than this, just keep it here. Take out the thumb stud, the stop pin, and you can disable this axis pin here. Put it down into this little area. Hopefully your Omega springs won't pop out like mine did. There we go. Okay, and once you've done that, all you want to do really is just apply pressure here, like so, on the back of this pivot pin and on the liner. Pull the blade back until you hear it click, and until you feel that you can tighten this a little bit more, and then tighten a little more and push it back and test it like this. If it retains it, it retains it. If it doesn't, then do it again. Alright, that should be all. You put this back. I already told you, apply thread locker, and you should be done. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and if you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to ask or to leave them in the comment box down below. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.